There is a plant in many homes standing tall, silent and sharp, its leaves reaching upward like guarded flames. You may know it as a simple decoration, a snake plant, but what you place in your space is never just an object. Everything carries energy, intention and consequence. Many people bring this plant into their homes seeking protection, wealth or peace. And yes, it has strength. It cleans the air, stands resilient and symbolizes endurance. But strength, when placed without awareness, can disturb the very harmony you seek. Pause and understand this deeply. Energy flows like water. It does not like obstruction, does not like confusion. When the snake plant is placed in the wrong location, it's sharp. Upward energy can become like invisible thorns, blocking calm, disturbing rest and creating silent tension in the space. Never place it where you rest your mind. The bedroom is a place of surrender, softness and healing. But the snake plant carries a rigid, alert energy. When placed near your bed, it can disrupt your peace, making your thoughts restless and your sleep uneasy. You may not see it, but you will feel it in subtle discomfort and unexplained fatigue. Never place it where love is meant to grow. In spaces meant for connection, harmony must flow gently. The pointed leaves of the plant symbolize cutting energy. When placed in relationship corners or central living areas, it may create distance, misunderstandings or emotional coldness between people. And never place it in narrow, crowded pathways. Energy needs space to move freely. When blocked by sharp, upright forms, it becomes stagnant. This stagnation reflects in your life delays, confusion, and a feeling of being stuck without knowing why. But do not fear the plant. Understand it. When placed with awareness, it becomes a guardian rather than a disruptor. It belongs in places of strength, near entrances, in workspaces, or areas where protection and focus are needed. There, it stands like a silent watcher, absorbing negativity and holding its ground. The lesson is simple, yet often ignored. It is not about what you have. It is about where and how you place it. Your space is a mirror of your inner world. When you bring mindfulness into your surroundings, you invite clarity into your life. When you ignore balance, even the smallest things can disturb your peace. So before you place anything in your home, pause. Feel the space. Everything carries energy. Every object in your home, including the snake plant, influences the energy and atmosphere around you. Everything you bring into your space carries energy, whether you notice it or not. Your home is not just a physical structure made of walls and furniture. It is a living field of subtle influences that constantly interact with your thoughts, emotions, and daily experiences. The objects you place around you are not silent. They communicate in ways that go beyond words. They shape how you feel, how you think, and even how events unfold in your life. The snake plant, with its tall, upright leaves and sharp edges, is often admired for its strength and resilience. It appears calm and grounded, yet its form carries a very distinct kind of energy, one that rises upward with intensity and firmness. This energy is not inherently good or bad, it simply exists as it is. But when such energy is placed without awareness, it can begin to influence the balance of your environment in subtle but powerful ways. Many people believe that bringing a plant into their home automatically invites positivity. But this is only partially true. It is not just the presence of the plant that matters, it is the nature of its energy and how it interacts with the space around it. The snake plant does not emit soft, flowing energy. Instead, it holds a more protective, almost defensive quality. If this quality is placed in a space that requires calmness and openness, it can create an unseen tension. Imagine sitting in a room where everything appears peaceful, yet something feels slightly off. You cannot explain it, but your mind feels unsettled, your body slightly tense. This is how misplaced energy works. It does not shout, it whispers. It does not break things instantly, it slowly shifts the atmosphere until discomfort becomes normal. Understanding this teaches you a deeper truth. Awareness is more important than intention. You may intend to create peace, prosperity, or protection. But without understanding the nature of what you are placing in your space, your intention alone is not enough. The energy of the object must align with the purpose of the space. When you begin to see your surroundings in this way, you become more mindful. You no longer decorate blindly, you place things with purpose. You start to feel the difference between what supports your well-being and what quietly disturbs it. In this awareness, your home transforms. It becomes not just a place where you live, but a place that supports your inner balance. And when your outer space is in harmony, your inner world begins to reflect that same calm, naturally and effortlessly. Wrong placement creates imbalance. Placing the snake plant without awareness can disturb harmony, causing restlessness, tension, and blocked energy flow. When something is placed without awareness, even something as simple as a plant, it can quietly disturb the balance of a space. The snake plant carries a strong and upright energy, and while this strength can be useful, it can also create imbalance if it is not positioned with care. Energy in any environment is meant to flow smoothly, like a gentle stream that nourishes everything it touches. But when that flow is interrupted or conflicted, the effects begin to appear in subtle and often unnoticed ways. The sharp, pointed leaves of the snake plant symbolize a kind of force that moves upward with intensity. This is not a soft or calming energy, it is active, alert, and protective. When placed in areas that require relaxation or emotional openness, this energy can feel out of place. It is like introducing a guarded presence into a space that is meant to feel safe and comforting. Over time, this mismatch creates a quiet tension that lingers in the background. You may begin to notice small changes. Your mind might feel more restless than usual, even in moments that should be peaceful. Conversations may become slightly strained, with misunderstandings arising more easily. There may be a sense of heaviness in the air, as if something is blocking the natural ease that once existed. These shifts are not dramatic, but they are persistent. They build slowly, influencing your mood and interactions without drawing obvious attention. This is how imbalance works. It does not always create immediate disruption, but it alters the harmony of a space over time. The snake plant, when misplaced, can act like a silent barrier, interrupting the smooth movement of energy. Instead of allowing calm and clarity to circulate, it introduces a sharper, more rigid presence that conflicts with softer energies. The important lesson here is not to fear the plant, but to understand the importance of alignment. Every space in your home has a purpose. Some areas are meant for rest, others for connection, and others for focus or protection. When the energy of an object does not match the purpose of the space, imbalance is created. By becoming aware of this, you begin to take control of your environment in a more conscious way. You stop placing things randomly and start observing how they make you feel. You learn to recognize when something enhances your space and when it quietly disrupts it. In this awareness, you create harmony not by adding more, but by placing things wisely. And when your space is in balance, your mind and emotions begin to settle naturally, allowing peace to return without effort. Avoid placing it in the bedroom. Its sharp, active energy can disrupt sleep, peace of mind, and emotional relaxation. There is a place in your home where your body seeks rest and your mind lets go of its burdens. This place is meant to be soft, quiet, and free from disturbance. It is where your thoughts slow down, where your breath becomes gentle, and where your energy is restored without effort. When you enter this space, everything within it should support calmness and stillness. But when something with a conflicting energy is introduced, even subtly, this delicate balance can be disturbed. The snake plant, with its tall, rigid, and pointed leaves, carries an energy that is alert and upward moving. It does not bend or soften, it stands firm, almost like a silent guard. While this quality can be useful in certain areas, it does not align with the purpose of a resting space. A bedroom is not a place for alertness or defense, it is a place for surrender. When this strong active energy is placed near where you sleep, it can create an invisible tension that affects you in ways you may not immediately recognize. You may lie down at night expecting peace, yet your mind remains active. Thoughts continue to move one after another as if something is keeping you slightly on edge. Your body may feel tired, but true relaxation does not come easily. Sleep may arrive, but it may not feel deep or refreshing. You might wake up feeling as though you have rested, yet something still feels incomplete, as if your energy has not fully renewed itself. This is how subtle imbalance reveals itself, not through loud disruption, but through a quiet lack of ease. The presence of sharp, upward energy in a space meant for softness can create a sense of restlessness. It is as if the environment itself is gently encouraging alertness when what you truly need is calm. Over time, this can affect more than just your sleep. Your mood during the day may feel slightly off. You may find yourself more irritable or less patient without a clear reason. Your ability to feel fully at peace becomes weakened, not because of something obvious, but because the space meant to restore you is no longer fully supportive. Understanding this brings awareness to the importance of protecting your resting space. It is not about removing everything, but about choosing what belongs. A bedroom should hold objects and elements that invite softness, warmth, and relaxation. When you become mindful of this, you begin to create an environment that truly supports your well-being. In that quiet, balanced space, rest becomes natural again, and your mind learns to let go without resistance. Keep it away from relationship spaces. The plant's pointed leaves may symbolically create emotional distance or misunderstandings in areas meant for love and connection. There are spaces in your home that are meant for connection, where words are shared, emotions are expressed, and bonds are strengthened without effort. These are the places where warmth should flow naturally, where understanding grows, and where hearts feel at ease in each other's presence. Such spaces require a gentle and welcoming energy, something that allows people to open up without fear or resistance. When this softness is disturbed even slightly, the quality of connection begins to change. The snake plant, with its long pointed leaves, carries an energy that is direct and sharp. It rises upward with a sense of firmness, almost like a quiet boundary being held. While this can be beneficial in spaces that require strength or protection, it does not always align with areas meant for emotional closeness. In places where love and harmony are meant to grow, this kind of energy can feel out of place, creating an unseen barrier between people. At first, the effects may be so subtle that they go unnoticed. Conversations may still happen, laughter may still be shared, but something beneath the surface feels slightly different. There may be a lack of depth in communication, a hesitation to fully express thoughts or feelings. Small misunderstandings might arise more easily, and simple conversations may carry an unexpected tension. It is not that conflict suddenly appears, but rather that the natural ease between people becomes disrupted. This is how energy influences relationships. It does not always create obvious problems, but it can slowly weaken the sense of closeness. The pointed form of the plant symbolically represents separation or division. And when placed in areas meant for unity, this symbolism begins to reflect in the emotional atmosphere. People may feel less connected without understanding why, as if an invisible line has been drawn between them. Over time, this can lead to emotional distance. Moments that once felt warm and effortless may begin to feel slightly forced or incomplete. The space no longer fully supports openness, and as a result, the connections within it may struggle to grow as they once did. The deeper lesson here is to protect the energy of spaces that hold relationships. These areas should be filled with elements that encourage softness, trust, and flow. When you become aware of how different forms and energies influence human connection, you begin to make more mindful choices. By aligning your surroundings with the purpose of the space, you allow relationships to breathe and expand naturally. In such an environment, communication becomes smoother, understanding deepens, and the quiet bond between people grows stronger without effort. Use it wisely for protection and focus when placed near entrances or workspaces. The snake plant can act as a protective and stabilizing force. There are certain places within your home that are meant to hold strength, focus, and quiet protection. These are not spaces for rest or emotional softness, but for clarity, awareness, and direction. In such areas, energy can be more structured, more alert, and even slightly intense because its purpose is to support action and stability. When the snake plant is placed with understanding, it naturally belongs in these environments where its qualities can be used in a balanced and beneficial way. The upright, firm leaves of the snake plant carry an energy that rises with determination. It does not spread outward gently, it moves upward with purpose. This makes it well suited for locations where you need concentration, discipline, or a sense of control. In workspaces, for example, this energy can quietly support your focus. It can help create an atmosphere where distractions are reduced and your mind feels more directed toward the task at hand. Near entrances, the role of energy shifts again. This is where the outside world meets your personal space, where different influences cross into your environment. Placing the snake plant here allows it to act as a silent guardian. Its strong, upright presence symbolically filters what enters, helping to maintain a sense of order and protection. It does not block everything, but it creates a boundary that feels steady and secure. In these positions, the plant's energy aligns with the purpose of the space rather than conflicting with it. Instead of creating tension, it provides support. Instead of disturbing the flow, it gives structure to it. This is the difference that awareness makes, not changing the nature of the object, but changing its relationship with its surroundings. When you begin to place things with this level of understanding, your environment starts to feel more intentional. You notice that certain areas help you think clearly, while others help you relax deeply. You feel a natural rhythm in your home where each space supports a different aspect of your life. This harmony is not created by adding more items, but by placing what you already have in a way that makes sense. The snake plant, when used wisely, becomes more than just a decorative object. It becomes part of the balance of your space, quietly supporting your focus and protecting your boundaries. It reminds you that strength has its place, just as softness does. In recognizing this, you begin to see your home not as a random arrangement of things, but as a reflection of awareness. And in that awareness, everything begins to work together, creating a space that feels steady, clear, and naturally supportive of your daily life.